In the heart of North America, beneath its endless skies and within its vast, untamed forests, an ancient rivalry still plays out, the eternal contest between man and predator. It's a story as old as the land itself. From the first hunters who followed migrating herds across frozen plains, to the modern outdoorsmen who rise before dawn with a rifle or bow in hand, the spirit of the hunt has never truly faded. Out here, survival isn't guaranteed. The wilderness doesn't care for weakness. Every sound in the forest, the rustle of leaves, the crack of a branch, the distant howl across the valley, carries meaning. In these moments, the hunter and the hunted are bound by a single thread: instinct. For centuries, humans have shared this continent with its great predators: mountain lions, wolves, bears, and coyotes. Each one a master of its domain, perfectly evolved to hunt, survive, and rule. But when their world collides with ours, balance must be restored. That's where the hunters come in. Each year, thousands of Americans venture deep into the wild, not only for the thrill, but for purpose. They track, observe, and sometimes take life. Not out of cruelty, but out of an understanding forged through generations. Hunting here is not a sport, it's a heritage, a ritual that ties families to the land and communities to the rhythm of nature itself. Across the country, there are about 14 million licensed hunters, contributing over $45 billion every year to local economies. That includes equipment, travel, and conservation funding, money that directly supports the preservation of wildlife habitats. But within this vast community, there's a smaller, more daring group: predator hunters. These men and women walk into the wilderness knowing what waits for them: eyes in the dark, claws on the wind, and danger at every turn. Predator hunters are not just shooters. They are conservationists, trackers, and biologists in their own right. Every hunt they take part in is guided by laws, ethics, and respect for balance. For without predators, prey populations would grow uncontrollably, forests would weaken, and disease would spread. And without hunters, that balance would tilt in the other direction. In this documentary, we'll journey through the heart of the American frontier. From the rocky peaks of Colorado to the dense pine forests of Alaska, from the swamps of Louisiana to the blazing deserts of Arizona, each landscape tells a different story, each predator a different struggle for survival. You'll see how hunters prepare, how they track elusive creatures across miles of unforgiving terrain, and how patience, instinct, and respect shape every decision they make. This isn't just a story of pursuit, it's a story of coexistence. Because in the wild, there are no villains, there is only balance: fragile, fierce, and eternal. Our story begins in the rugged canyons of the American Southwest, where red stone cliffs echo with the cries of eagles and shadows move with silent grace. Here, one of nature's most elusive and mysterious predators stalks the ridges: the mountain lion. Chapter 2: The Ghost of the Canyon, Mountain Lion Pursuit. The mountain lion, also known as the cougar, puma, or panther, is one of North America's most secretive and powerful predators. Solitary, silent, and lightning fast, it moves through the wilderness like a shadow. With a single leap, it can clear over 20 feet of open ground, landing with precision and force. A fully grown male can weigh more than 150 pounds and bring down prey twice its size. A true master of ambush and stealth. In the vast wilderness stretching from the deserts of Arizona to the forests of Colorado and Montana, the mountain lion reigns as the unseen monarch of the land. Biologists estimate a population of 30,000 to 40,000 across the western United States. These elusive cats play a vital role in maintaining balance within their ecosystems, keeping deer and elk populations in check, which in turn prevents overgrazing and helps vegetation thrive. But when that balance falters, when deer overpopulate or when lions turn to livestock, human intervention becomes necessary. This is where the predator hunter steps in, not as a destroyer, but as a regulator of the wild order. Hunters preparing for a mountain lion expedition know that success requires patience, endurance, and skill. The gear list reads more like a survival manual: Bolt-action rifles with precision optics, GPS trackers, snowshoes, climbing ropes, radios, and high-energy rations for long days in the backcountry. Yet their most valuable companions are not tools, but dogs. These are no ordinary dogs. They are trained hounds bred for generations to track the faint scent of a lion's paw in snow or sand. With deep, resonant howls, they announce the trail, following the elusive predator across miles of rugged terrain. Fearless, relentless, and loyal, they are the heartbeat of the hunt. The pursuit often begins at dawn, when the ground is still cold and the scent fresh. Rounded paw prints in the snow, larger than a man's fist, mark the beginning of the chase. Hunters release their hounds, and the stillness of morning breaks with a chorus of barks that echo through the canyon walls. The chase can stretch for hours, sometimes across steep ridges, frozen creeks, and dense forests, where even sunlight struggles to reach. Every step tests endurance. The hunter must keep pace, reading the terrain, watching the dog's behavior, and trusting instinct more than technology. At last, the moment of encounter arrives. The hounds have cornered the lion, high in a tree or backed against a rock face. The cat's golden eyes glare down, its chest heaving, muscles coiled with tension. This is the moment of truth, a test of calm over chaos. The hunter approaches slowly, heart pounding. Every movement matters. A single mistake could send the lion leaping, claws outstretched, in a final desperate escape. When the moment is right, the shot is taken. Quick, deliberate, and precise. The goal is always a clean, ethical kill, to minimize suffering and honor the animal's power. Once downed, the lion is treated with deep respect. Its data, location, weight, age, and health, is recorded and submitted to wildlife authorities to aid in population studies. The pelt may be preserved as a trophy, but the memory of the hunt is what truly remains. For many hunters, this pursuit is not about conquest or pride. It's about understanding, about standing face to face with one of nature's most elusive predators and recognizing its place in the grand design of life and death. Because in the wild, balance is fragile, and sometimes to protect the land, one must hunt the ghost that haunts it. Chapter 3: The Howl of the North. Wolf Management in America. Far to the north, where the forests turn to frost and the air hangs heavy with silence, another predator rules: the gray wolf. Once nearly wiped out in the lower 48 states, the gray wolf has made a dramatic comeback since reintroduction programs in the 1990s. Today, over 6,000 wolves roam across the northern Rockies, Great Lakes, and Pacific Northwest. But their recovery has reignited old conflicts. Ranchers report livestock losses, hunters see elk and deer herds declining in key areas, and wildlife agencies must strike a delicate balance between protection and control. Wolf hunting, where legal, is one of the most challenging pursuits in the American wilderness. These animals are intelligent, social, and extraordinarily cautious. A wolf can detect human scent from over a mile away and will change its route if it senses danger. Hunters use electronic calls that mimic the sound of distressed prey, or even other wolves to draw them in. Patience is key. Hours may pass without a sound. Then suddenly, a distant howl replies. The pack is near. Camouflaged in snow, the hunter readies the rifle. Every heartbeat echoes through the cold air. When a shadow moves across the ridge, it's the alpha male. The shot must be clean, precise, and swift. Each harvested wolf provides critical data: location, age, health, and genetic diversity. State agencies use this information to regulate populations and prevent overhunting. Though controversial, wolf hunting remains a tool for population management. Supporters argue it keeps ecosystems balanced. Critics call it unnecessary. But one thing is certain: the howl of the wolf still defines the wild heart of North America. Chapter 4: The Trickster. Coyotes in America's Endless Hunt. If there's one predator that refuses to be controlled, it's the coyote. Smart, fast, and adaptable, the coyote has spread from the western plains to nearly every corner of the United States, even into city suburbs and neighborhoods. There are now more than 7 million coyotes in America. They prey on livestock, pets, and small game, and their population continues to grow despite extensive hunting efforts. Coyotes have no closed hunting season in most states, meaning they can be hunted year-round with no limit. Their intelligence makes them both fascinating and frustrating to track. Hunters often use electronic distress calls that mimic the sound of rabbits or small animals in pain. Others use decoy motion devices, luring coyotes into the open fields. Once in sight, the shot must be taken instantly. Coyotes rarely pause twice. In rural areas, farmers often form night patrols using infrared scopes and silencers to protect livestock. Coyotes are notoriously cunning. Some have been documented learning to avoid vehicles or spotlights entirely. A successful hunt may bring a small bounty, but the real reward is the preservation of balance. Without population control, coyotes can devastate local ecosystems, pushing out native foxes and depleting ground bird populations. Despite their reputation, coyotes are survivors, a symbol of wild resilience. They've adapted to deserts, forests, and even freeways. In many ways, they've outsmarted both nature and man. As one hunter says, "You don't beat a coyote. You just hope he lets you win once in a while." Chapter 5: The Giants of the Forest. American Black and Grizzly Bears. Among all predators, few command as much respect, or fear, as bears. In North America, two major species dominate: the American black bear and the grizzly bear, a subspecies of the brown bear. Black bears are found in 40 states, with populations estimated at 700,000 or more. Grizzlies, however, are far rarer. Roughly 55,000 remain, concentrated in Alaska, Montana, and parts of Wyoming and Idaho. Bear hunting is heavily regulated, requiring special tags, licenses, and often lotteries to participate. The hunt itself is a test of endurance and patience. Hunters may hike dozens of miles into the wilderness, tracking bear sign, claw marks on trees, tracks along rivers, and overturned logs where bears have foraged for insects. Spot and stalk hunting is common. Hunters glass distant hillsides with binoculars, searching for movement. When a bear is spotted, the stalk begins. Every step deliberate, every sound muffled by the forest floor. At close range, the stakes are high. Bears have an acute sense of smell and can charge at speeds up to 35 miles per hour. Large caliber rifles are essential, 300 Winchester Magnum or higher. After a successful harvest, hunters work quickly to preserve the hide and meat. The fat, once used by pioneers for oil and cooking, remains valuable today. Some hunters donate the meat to local communities or food banks, honoring the animal through full use. Bear hunting isn't just about the pursuit. It's a profound encounter between man and one of nature's most powerful creatures, a reminder of our smallness in a wild, untamed world. Chapter 6: The Balance of Blood and Soil. From the deserts of Arizona to the ice fields of Alaska, the story of American hunting is one of balance, between life and death, control and respect, survival and stewardship. Predators like wolves, bears, and mountain lions are not just trophies. They are keystones of the ecosystem. Without them, prey populations explode, forests weaken, and the land itself suffers. Modern hunting, when conducted legally and ethically, is more than a sport. It's an act of conservation. Every license fee, every tag purchased, funds habitat restoration, wildlife research, and protection of endangered species. In the last century alone, hunters have contributed billions of dollars to preserving the very wildlife they pursue. Without them, many wild populations, including deer, elk, and turkey, would have dwindled to near extinction. The wilderness demands respect, and those who venture into it, rifle in hand or bow on shoulder, carry a responsibility as old as humanity itself, to live in balance with the earth. To those who watch these stories, the adventurers, the dreamers, the protectors of the wild, remember this: every shot, every track, every trail tells a story older than civilization, a story of instinct, survival, and connection to the land. If you've enjoyed this journey through the untamed heart of America, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment below, and share this video with fellow explorers. Because the more voices we have, the more stories we can tell about hunters, wildlife, and the eternal balance that keeps our wild world alive. Together, we keep the wilderness alive, one story at a time.